G'day YouTube, Quacker John here. In this video I demonstrate and explain the 7 learner manoeuvres that everyone should master. In this video I've taken the crucial segments of 7 of my learner videos and placed them in this one video. I know I have a lot of new riders and learner riders on my channel, which is why I do these videos. I hope it helps. Firstly, we will consider the friction zone. The friction zone is when the clutch begins to engage the gear. Now, a motorcycle has a wet clutch, so that you cannot ride the clutch as you do in a car. In fact, using the friction zone is necessary for slow riding on a motorbike.
Okay, start the motor. And you put it clutch in and put it in first gear. Right. Now, I don't have my hand on the throttle nor the brakes. My hand is resting on the throttle, but I'm not turning it at all. It's to slowly release the clutch, a millimetre at a time, until you feel the gear beginning to grab. And you can hear the revs drop a bit, and there's the big gear beginning to grab. That is called the friction zone of the clutch.
The following manoeuvres are what I had to master to obtain my motorcycle license. Firstly is slow riding in a straight line. In this manoeuvre, you engage the friction zone and marginally increase the revs so that you move forward, and then you regulate your slow speed by using the rear brake.
So I've got the friction zone. Now I increase the revs, and now I use the rear brake so I don't move. So I've got it set up.
Next is the figure 8. The figure 8 is an easy manoeuvre when you have mastered it. However, I needed a lot of practice to pass my test. I found the figure 8 easier to do when I went a bit faster and was leaning the bike left and then right. As with riding in a straight line, you are using the friction zone and the rear brake to regulate your speed. In this demonstration of a figure 8, I ride too wide. Sorry about that.
Now the first thing that's useful to do is to walk around it and see where you're going. Now you'll notice I'm turning my head to the right because I need to be looking 2 of these things ahead so the bike will turn. 2 of these witches hats ahead. Now the other thing is you've got to lean the bike, otherwise you won't make the turn. So you lean the bike one way, then you lean it the other. You're always looking ahead to where you're going.
Next is the slalom course. To successfully complete the slalom course, you need to counter steer, but You will find that you will do this without even thinking about it. When you push your right handlebar forward with your right hand, the bike leans to the right and turns right. Similarly, when you push the left hand handlebar forward with your left hand, then the bike leans to the left and turns left. I found the slalom course the most fun.
This is the slalom course, and to do this successfully you need to counter steer to manoeuvre to go from either side to either side of the witches' hats. Now if I want to go right, you push the handle bar forward and the bike leans over and goes right. Correspondingly, if you push the left handle forward, the bike will lean over and go left. So you'll find that you just do it naturally. Now for the test you do it at 25 kilometers an hour, which is about 15 miles per hour. The counter steering takes greater effect then.
The next manoeuvre is emergency swerving. In emergency swerving, you are counter steering one way to avoid the obstacle and then the other way to straighten the bike.
Now you can see where the witch's hat is up ahead of me. Ordinarily a person would be standing there, and as I approach them at speed they would put out their left or right hand, and then I react and swerve the bike that way. Because there's no second person here, I'll just be doing it, but of course I'll be aware of when I'm doing it rather than reacting to someone raising their hand.
Next is emergency braking from a point. These manoeuvres are important to learn for emergencies when you are riding on the road. When doing an emergency brake, you must not grab at the brake and brake suddenly because you will be thrown off the bike. What you must do is gently squeeze the brake lever and slowly increase the pressure. It is called progressive braking. And by doing this, your bike will brake quickly and safely.
Now you should have someone there so that when you're riding along at 25 k's an hour, which is about 15 miles per hour, they raise their hand and you know that's when you have to brake, the point you have to brake from as quickly as possible. Anyway, I don't have anyone, so I'll just brake at a point, from a point. Well, that was a more harder brake. I don't think it engaged ABS, and that was braking from a point.
And finally, there is emergency braking to a point.
So I'll be using that witch's hat to brake to a point. Should be doing about 25 kilometers an hour. Right, the things here are, when you finish you should be in first gear with your foot resting down. basically braking at the last moment. And what you mustn't do is grab at the brake lever. You must just very slowly bring the brake lever in, you know, an eighth of an inch or less every time. Because if you grab the brake and brake too suddenly, you're going to be thrown off the bike. Now my bike has ABS, so the wheels won't lock up, but if you don't have ABS, the wheels will lock up and you'll be thrown off.
Enjoy learning, for they are essential skills in riding a motorbike. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoy my videos, subscribe to the channel. Live stream is on every Wednesday night at 10 PM Brisbane, Australia time. You're most welcome to join in. You are most welcome to join the Quacker John chat room, and the link for your invitation to join the Quacker John chat room is in the comments under the video. See ya!